everyone. It is such a pleasure and thank you. We are so pleased to see so many supporters as we gather here for Ohio Reproductive Health Lobby Day. I am surrounded by my colleagues, both female and male, and supporters, both female and male, who understand the importance of us standing up and lifting our voices about the dirty, rotten tricks that are going on in this General Assembly with regards to reproductive health. So here we go again. Some of my colleagues want to prioritize family planning funding, or as I like to say, politicize family planning funding. Under their new scheme, only clinics that do not specialize in family planning will be eligible to receive family planning funding. Call it irony, stupid, crazy, I don't know, but it does make a whole lot of sense. And then Mike Ganadakis, a member of the Ohio State Medical Board, and the president of Ohio Right to Life, said the following: Ohio Right to Life's #1 priority is to defund Planned Parenthood. How many more African American babies are we going to allow Planned Parenthood to abort while subsidizing them with our public funds? As the father of an African American baby boy, I fear that society is turning a blind eye to this problem. Well, let me tell you what I hear in those words. Well, you know, some of my best friends are black. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So here is a good question, however, that he should ponder, and the governor as well. Is it appropriate for a member of the Ohio State Medical Board to be fiercely advocating for the destruction of one of our state's largest and most trusted health care providers? A provider that 1 in 5 women in America have turned to at some point in her life. Instead of controlling the intimately personal choices of women, Ohio State policymakers should focus on the myriad of problems hard-working Ohioans are facing today. How about growing the economy, creating jobs, improving access to high-quality health care, decreasing major inequities in K-12 education, providing a solid pre-K foundation for all children of the state of Ohio, ensuring that all Ohioans have equal access to the ballot. How about that? And supporters today, the problem that we have is a matter of our votes. That is the real problem today. Be careful who you vote for. Increasing voter participation in our democratic process. These are the goals that folks in this state elected us to tackle, not making reproductive health choices of millions of women harder and more difficult. Some of these people who call themselves pro-life, but life doesn't end when a child comes into this world. The House Republicans want to prevent over 275,000 Ohioans from receiving basic health care under Medicaid expansion, but they call themselves pro-life. They want to prevent tens of thousands of new jobs from coming into our state, but they call themselves pro-job. They want to prevent working-class women and families and children from accessing critical preventative health care services. This calls into question the true meaning of pro-life. Thomas Friedman wrote in the New York Times last year, and I quote, "In my world, you don't get to call yourself pro-life and be against common sense gun control, like banning public access to the kind of semi-automatic rifles designed for warfare. You don't get to call yourself pro-life and oppose programs like Head Start that provide basic education, health, and nutrition for the most disadvantaged children. You can call yourself a pro-contraception to birth, indifferent to life, conservative, but you don't get to call yourself pro-life." I believe Thomas Friedman captured the essence of this fight that we have today. And not pro-life. And we need to call it like we see it. The threat that House Republicans pose is not just the pro-choice movement and women's rights to control their own destinies and their own bodies, but to the high-quality health care for all Ohioans. It is women today. Who will it be tomorrow? We must continue to stand up and lift our voices and push back on the ridiculousness that is going on in the Ohio House when it comes to women and their access. We will not go back. We will not go back, women. Our foremothers fought too hard. We will not go back. So with that being said, I believe some of these men were hatched. They could not have been birthed. They have very little to no respect for women and the sanctity of life and the quality of that life. But now I would like to introduce Representative Nickie of the fabulous 13th House District, a fierce and passionate advocate for women's rights.